Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow out of Diagnostics. Customer dropped off this 2021 Chevy Silverado with a complaint that his battery is going flat in a couple days. So pretty substantial parasitic drain. And let's take a look at this truck. It's slightly modified, and let's see if we can track down this parasitic draw. So the customer tells me he's I guess a prepper, so he wants to be ready for anything, especially a zombie apocalypse. So this truck is, see, it's lifted, it's got the meaty tires, heavy duty bumper, so if you got the zombies in your way, you could just run them over. You got the floodlights to see the zombies at night, and under the hood this thing is souped up with extra horsepower. If I can get the hood open. Look at this. Supercharged Magnuson Lingenfelter. So if the zombies are chasing you, you can leave them in the dust. So this truck is prepped. But if you can't start your truck in the morning, that's not going to work. So that's why he wants us to diagnose this thing. In the meantime, he did install a battery disconnect. Pretty simple, just to open and close on the ground side of the battery. Well, this is actually very handy to test for a parasitic draw. We can just connect our ammeter in series, open the latch, and we should get a reading. No need to fiddle around with the battery terminals. What things does he have installed under the hood? This is aftermarket stuff. So there's this last fit light controller for all the auxiliary lights, obviously the supercharger, and I asked him, like, what was the ECM reprogrammed? He said yes, the ECM has been reprogrammed to also accept different mass airflow sensor. There is a boost sensor with like an intermediate proprietary module, and then this thing is a EMP shield, so if there's like a big solar flare or a nuclear blast, hopefully your modules don't get fried. So this thing is apparently always enabled. That could be a source of the parasitic draw for sure. But let's get into this thing. We'll do a quick code scan, start it up, run it, put an ammeter on the disconnect, and measure the parasitic draw. Alright, so full code scan complete. This thing has about 15 modules or so. And I checked all the codes. They're just history codes for low voltage. This is during a battery drain event. Nothing very helpful, as expected. So let me just clear these out right now, just to do a fresh start, and then we can run the vehicle, shut it down, and put the ammeter on that battery terminal. Okay, so we're fully cleared out. So I'm going to put the scanner away. Let's fire it up. Let's see, key off, key on. Let it run for a second here. Set her down. Let's go measure the draw. Alright, so we're on the amp scale. Here's our trusty AstroAI in-series ammeter. So the current is going to be going from the negative post to here, so it's reading 0. So once I open this latch, all the current is going to go through the meter. So let's see what the current is. About 0.7 amps. So let's leave it for 15 minutes or so and see what it drops down to. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes and we're at 400, we'll call it 450 milliamps, so almost half an amp of parasitic drain. So this is the number we're starting at. It's obviously way too high. I want to see closer to 10 milliamps. We can start with an amp clamp and measuring current to some of these aftermarket accessories. So zero this out, and this is the wire going to that EMP. That's not drawing half an amp. What about this aftermarket lighting module? Again, pretty close to zero, so we're not getting lucky right off the bat. Let me write this down. One thing we can do right off the bat here is break the circuit, right, like a battery disconnect, reconnect it, and see if we get this number again. So I'll do that right now. So we're starting at 450. Alright, so I took a picture of that for reference. We're starting at 450. I'm just going to take this clamp off. Give it a second. We can even reconnect it this way. You saw that spark? Reconnect our ammeter. So something clicked. Let it reset for a minute. And open the latch. So you see we're up to 3 amps because the modules had a battery disconnect. They're resetting, and now they should start going to sleep. So I'm going to keep the camera on here for whatever, 1 or 2 minutes. We'll see how fast this drops. 1.7, 1.6, 1.3, 1.2, 0.7, 0.6. So 70 milliamps now. I still want this to drop lower. There you go, 50. 10 milliamps. Beautiful. So that was a neat test. After a battery disconnect, this truck is fixed. Right? 10 milliamps. Perfect. So now we have to figure out, after an ignition, engine on, key cycle, this thing's back up to half an amp. So we have great preliminary testing. Now is going to be the fun part of tracking down where exactly that half an amp is going, and apparently it has to be something that's staying awake, because if you do a battery reset, it goes down to 10 milliamps, which is perfect, right? So it's going to be a module staying awake, and the question is which module. And also, we know this truck is modified, and the problem, according to the owners, it started a month or so after these engine modifications, right? So perhaps we should start with what's aftermarket. There's this apparently intermediate module to communicate with the boost sensor to the original ECM. If I can find that, we're going to measure the current draw on that. Alright, so I did another key on, key off cycle, didn't run the truck. Let's open the latch. We're starting at that 3 amps. Let's see what the current drops down to this time. I'm curious if you need to run the truck to reproduce the draw or just a key on cycle. So while we're here, I want to see if these aftermarket wires going to the supercharger system, they're tied into these fuses and they are not hot. The test light definitely works. So the current cannot be going on these wires since the fuses are off. So we're back down to that 0.75, 0.70. And I assume we're going to get that 1/2 amp draw back just after an on-off key cycle. This 0.7, it's going to drop to 0.45. Alright, so after another 10 minutes, we're back down to our 450 milliamp draw. So now I want to see on these big wires which wire is the current traveling on. So using the amp clamp, we can see about 1/2 amp is going to the underhood fuse box. Okay, and first, it goes to this lug, and then there are 2 aftermarket wires coming from this lug to wherever. So first we want to eliminate those, like this little wire. Oh, there goes my amp clamp. Let's see here. This truck is a little hard to climb onto. Let's measure this wire right here, and that's 0. And we already measured this wire here. That's 0. So it has to be going through a fuse to somewhere else. So let's use a voltmeter on the voltage scale, do a voltage drop test across all of the mini fuses. If you don't see anything there, then we'll go for the big fuses, and then we're going to have to go to power distribution to see where the current is going. Okay, so I went through all of the mini fuses with the vintage voltmeter, and there was one that had a significant voltage drop. And if there's a voltage drop across a fuse, that means there's current going through that fuse. So this 15 amp fuse right here in this row, check out the voltage drop across it. 1.7 millivolts. Okay, that fuse right there in this row, this 15 amp. And if we go by the little picture on the cover, that's fuse 78. And fuse 78, it says ECM 15 amp. Uh-oh. You know where this is going. Obviously the truck has been modified, the ECM has been reprogrammed, and it's not going to sleep. But let's look at the diagrams and see where exactly that fuse goes. Alright, looking up the powertrain wiring diagrams, sure enough, fuse 78, 15 amp, is just the battery positive feed to the ECM. So what I'm going to do is pull that fuse out, and we'll see what the total amp draw drops to. So look at the meter. If I can get rid of the glare. Okay, we've got 450 milliamps. I'm going to pull the 15 amp fuse, and moment of truth, 10 milliamps. Guys, we're done with this truck. The ECM has been modified and it is not going to sleep. Conclusive proof, 100% guaranteed. And the owner said, obviously we can't reprogram it back to stock because then his aftermarket crap, or the supercharger, wouldn't function. So this thing has to go back to the aftermarket people who modified this and tell them, hey, the ECM is not going to sleep. We know what fuse it is, so do what you got to do, fix the programming. That's as far as we can go, but the diagnosis is complete. You might ask, what's the charge for this? I say 2 hours is a fair charge, doing all the research, but unfortunately we can't fix it, no parts required, because we don't have this aftermarket whatever programming stuff, and the owner said please don't program the ECM because then his truck wouldn't run right. So that's where we are. We'll do follow-up once the owner hopefully resolves this problem, or he'll continue to use his battery disconnect, which is kind of not right, but he doesn't want his battery dying every couple days. That's it. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. A little bonus footage. Let's see what happens when we reinstall the ECM fuse. So we have about 1/2 amp. Let's just watch it. I think it'll drop pretty quickly because we didn't do a full key cycle. We just power cycled the ECM only. It's 10:54 right now. Oh, we're dropping already. Boom, 10 milliamps. We're definitely done. This ECM programming is messed up.